Hello, welcome to Stampin' on the Hill. I'm Deb Keyes. Today I have for you another sketch challenge. This is the December sketch, and you probably saw earlier in the week what the sketch looks like, but let me just show it to you. Okay, so here's what it looks like. We've got, general card base here, which is what the white represents. And then something, you can use DSP, you can use whatever, is what the lined paper looks like, the lined layer on here. And then we've got something that goes diagonally this way. We've got something that goes straight across the where the blue is right here. And then we used a bow. So that's what the sketch actually looks like. I've got a couple different examples, and let's just get together or get going and make the very first one here, and then I'll show you another. Remind me. I'll get it. I'll get to it. I always forget to show you the extra examples that I've made, and it's a lot of work. So I am so disappointed by the time my video ends that when I forget to show them to you. I usually try to catch up sometime during the month with the other examples, but sometimes I forget. Okay, so we are going to use Rustic Crate, and I'm making this a Christmas card. I'm going to use the poinsettias here, and I'm going to use Peaceful Season for my greeting. So I wanted to just give you an idea what we're using. I'm going to start with, well, I did. Let me back up just a bit, because I started with the two Christmas dies, and one is the outline. So this one came from here, and one is the word, and this one comes from here. And so I cut those out ahead of time just to save time for you and glued it together. So this is what it looks like. All right, I'm going to set that aside for now, but I wanted to show you that I did it. So I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock, and of course I didn't measure it, so it is 3 by 4 1/4. 3 by 4 1/4. And we're going to use Memento ink. Let's move some of these colors out of the way because I'm not sure I even used all of those colors. And we're going to do random stamping. Remember, we talked about random stamping at one other point not that long ago. And I want to put this one right in the middle, and because I'm going to random stamp around it. So I'm going to do that. And then let's bring in a piece of, well, got some pieces here. I'm going to random stamp around it. So let's go here and here, and then here across the bottom, and then let's do across the top too. That looks good. That didn't turn out very well, did it? I should have my sponge out, but I didn't do it. So yeah, see how that worked out for me? Pretty darn well. I think I need to re-ink this Memento pad. That's probably my problem. That's not bad. Nope, I don't like it. Let's start again. Let's wipe this off. And let's flip the paper over. And let me grab my sponge. Let's try it that way, see if this will work better. How's that? Okay. So I want this in the middle, a little higher than center. Let me slide this up because I know you can't see. Okay. A little higher than center. There we go. Oh, yeah. And then let's do the top. This. And come on. And then this way. I don't want to get my my sponge inked if I can help it. So let's go this way then. And do one here. And do one here. And then one at the bottom, I think, will be good, yeah. Trying not to hit the ones above it or below it. Okay, so then I'm going to move this out of the way. And I think we're done with the memento. Now remember, memento is the one you're going to need to use if you're going to use alcohol markers, which is what the blends are. So let me start by, I like to start with the dark colors. Let's start with, this is shaded spruce. So this is the dark and this is the light shaded spruce. So I'm going to do the leaves. And because this is random stamping, I'm going to just highlight one of these. I'm not going to color them all. So let's start with the bullet point on this one. And I'm just going to go around and I'm going to color around all of these great leaves that Stampin' Up! Has, and the highlights that Stampin' Up! Has given us to highlight what we're doing here. And then I'm going to, oops, there's another little one in there, a couple of those. Then I'm going to take the light color, and this is just the way I like to do it. Everybody has their own preference. I'm going to take the light and I'm going to try to blend that together. And, you know, coloring is so hard, especially on camera, because it's time consuming. And if you hurry it, then you end up making mistakes that you wished you would have just slowed down and taken your time to color it correctly. So I'm just gonna, well, that's close. You can see I went a little bit out of the lines here, but I don't think it's going to matter in the overall scheme of things because of that one that's going to go across the middle there. So now we're going to come in with this is Cherry Cobbler. And of course, this is the dark. And we're going to kind of do the same thing here. I'm just going to pick almost every other one and use the dark. And then we'll come back in with the light and you'll get a feel for how much shading to really use. You can always, you know, if you decide that you didn't use enough, you can always come in and add more. That's the nice thing about these. Let's see, what am I doing here? Let's go that, like that. And I'm trying to keep with just like one side of these leaves and then the vein, maybe that goes through it. Couple veins here from leaves that we didn't actually see. And then let's go with the light color Cherry Cobbler. And we don't have to be real, I'm trying not to go out of the lines, but you don't have to be real precise about it. I want to avoid the center because I'm going to do those in yellow. But for the most part, and I'm okay with leaving some of this white because it's kind of a natural, what's the word I'm looking for? Where things aren't perfect. that is natural, right? That is just not perfect. And sometimes if you leave a little bit of white on some things, it almost looks as though maybe light is shining on it. At least that's what I think. Trying to hurry here, so it's not going to be the greatest, because watching me color is not what you came here to do. I probably should have had most of it colored to begin with, but I didn't. So here we go. So and now we're going to come in with the Daffodil Delight. This is the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use the bullet tip because I don't want to make a big, huge mess. And I'm just going to give some little dots to the center, just so it's not bright white. All right, so that's that. So now let's see. I've got a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 cherry cobbler that we need to score at 4.25, right? Yeah, 4.25 to make our card base. And we need the bone folder then to make this nice and creased here. There we go. All right, so card base, and that's going to go here. I think I'm good with that. I'm going to just glue this down here. See how the when you use the blends, it bleeds through? That's not a bad thing. Just keep in mind that depending on what you're coloring on, you may want to take and put a blotter paper under it, or definitely don't do it on top of your project. Okay. And then we're going to put Christmas here, across here. So that's going to be that, for me, that's going to be the part that goes this way. And then here's another, let's see, how do I want to do this? I already pre-stamped. This was one big long piece of paper, and it was like this. And I pre-stamped keep and in your heart, separate phrases that are in the stamp set. What stamp set am I using? Oh, I told you, Peaceful Season. Anyway, and so this was one big long piece of paper, and I cut it, and then I decided to trim this shorter, narrower this way. So, but after I did it, I thought, oh shoot, I should use this as a teachable moment, because if you want your angles to be perfect, then you're just going to take the piece, you're going to make one, so you cut it the first time, and then you use that extra one for your angle. So I'm going to line this up with my corner here, and I'm going to cut it again as soon as I find my paper scissors. So I'm going to cut that angle, and then I'm going to cut it right in the middle of here, so about here, I guess. So I want that to be the same angle again, right? So there's my keep. That's a little off. This one's a little off too. Let's make this one a little bit smaller, of a gap right here. And we're going to make this one a little bit smaller as well. So about there. That kind of didn't line up right. There we go. Okay. I'm okay with that. So that's how you can keep if you're trying to do the angled ends, that's how you can keep them together. So I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put these up on dimensionals. So I'm going to use some edges here. I'm going to use this edge. Cut some pieces apart here and see what we're going to do. This one only needs one. So let's put that one here and put it off a little bit too. I realized that our sketch doesn't really have a formal, another one up there, but that's okay. We can use the sketch however we want. We can make it fit our needs. All right. All right, so I'm gonna glue down the Christmas, I guess. You can see that this Christmas was from a scrap too, because it has ink on the backside. And that's perfectly okay. We hate wasting paper, right? So whenever I make a mistake on something, I think, oh, I can do this. All right, so this one's gonna go straight. And then this one is gonna go straight as well. Oops. There we go. So we've got the angle, and then we have the straight one here. And then we have a ribbon in our, so I'm using the satin ribbon. This is a 1/4 of an inch ribbon that is cherry cobbler in gold. And I'm just gonna, I don't know if you know how to make a quick little bow, but I'm just leaving a little tail here, making a bunny ear there and another bunny ear here. And then we're just going to tie the bunny ears together. And that is our little bow. I want to keep it kind of small. And then you just sort of massage it, you know? And then when you're all finished massaging your bow, make sure it's tight because you don't want it to just come unraveled. Then, let's see, I think I like this side better. I do. Then you use your ribbon scissors, the ones with the ribbon on the end, and cut the ends. So I don't want really big ends. That one and this one. Okay. Then we're going to bring in a glue dot, and you flip open the paper, find the next glue dot on your roll, and then you press the glue dot onto, or your project onto your glue dot. And then this, let's see, let's put it like this. How's that? That's kind of cool. I'm liking that. How about it? Yeah. All right. Oh, I was going to show you the other one. I'll show you that one. So this one I did, and I used, this is, the card base is real red. I used granny apple green. I used the Reindeer Days DSP, and I just cut a little strip out of a scrap. This is the Peaceful Season bundle with the words and the little tag that goes with it. I used the Painted Trees folder to emboss that backside, and then I used a double linen thread bow on that one. So, a couple of Christmas cards. So yeah, hopefully I challenge you to copy the sketch. That's what it's there for, is for you to use it for inspiration for your next project. And I'd love to see what you make with it. Until next time, thank you for watching.